Juneteenth is significant because I think in the context of the history that's taught, there's an illusion that slavery ended with the Emancipation Proclamation. And Juneteenth is significant because it actually does mark the, at least, end of formal slavery. There was still sharecropping, there was still indentured servitude in certain ways, but Juneteenth marks, at least in US history, the formal end in the then United States of slavery, not the Emancipation Proclamation. And I think that's a significant and important piece.
And what about for you personally?
To be honest, as a family, we didn't have any place to celebrate it until we actually came to Vermont. So Vermont's the first place I've been where there have actually been, at least in the Burlington area, activities to go to. I was aware of it, but we were talking about education. It was certainly nothing I got in K-12. It wasn't until graduate school that I actually became aware of the disconnect between the idea that the emancipation freed all the slaves and Juneteenth. For me, it wasn't something that my family had gotten in their own education, and so I didn't really find out about it until I was much older.
How does Juneteenth inform the university when most of the students are away?
Well, to be fair, it's not that there's no students. We have an active summer program. We have an active continuing and distance ed program. Just because we don't have classes, all of our students aren't gone. And so it's an opportunity for them. Our faculty and staff live here. It's an opportunity for them and their school-age children who are K-12 to attend and involve. So I think that it directly impacts the campus, not as much as if all 12,000 students were on campus, but certainly it involves the campus community writ large.
Do you think, as a scholar, as a teacher, that was George Floyd that spark? Why now, Sherwood?
I would certainly say that Black Lives Matter and George Floyd were a factor, but not the only factor. Certainly, sadly, you saw a response to Confederate monuments and states taking down Confederate flags as a result of the church shootings, right? So change is inevitable. When I was growing up, there was no Martin Luther King Day, right? So what sparked there to be a Martin Luther King Day? It's not just one thing, though certainly I think that the Black Lives Matters movement and, all right, the only reason I think George Floyd is significant is this. You go back to the civil rights movement. The thing that motivated people was suddenly on the news, they saw unarmed people being attacked with fire hoses and dogs. Right. You could not then argue that there is justice and equity for all, right? So I think what happened was, at least for me, I can't speak for anybody else, there's a visceral reaction to watching somebody utterly non-pulsed, kneeling on somebody's throat for almost 10 minutes while people are yelling and screaming at them that the person needs help. When the person is saying they can't breathe, you have some reaction to that, right? So I think that these are cumulative events and not, it would be great if there was just the one thing that flicked the switch. I think these are cumulative events and you build up enough inertia to sort of move the arc of history, as Martin Luther King used to say, in a certain direction, right? And sadly, you get backlash from it as well. So it's not as simple as, oh great, now we've got this holiday. Well, I've run into situations where it seems as if these are, all right, Juneteenth or MLK Day, these are Black African-American holidays. In my view, first of all, it's great that they're celebrating my people's history, but either these are US holidays just like everything else, or you need to start saying that Washington's birthday is a white holiday, right? Awareness of the histories of the people that make up this country are important to all of us, not just the group that happens to be celebrating the holiday on that day. I think national holidays are a statement about what the nation sees as relevant and important. Whether people participate or not is a whole other issue. But the fact that there is a national holiday says that this is seen as significant for the nation. I think that's important. It's not sufficient, but I think that that's important. Whether you participate in them or, which I think is good, but we're always picking and choosing what we participate in, so that's natural and normal at some level. But I think the piece for me where the holidays kick in, going back to our first start in this conversation, is if it's a national holiday, then one would expect that it was discussed in school. If it's not a national holiday, maybe, maybe not. But if it's a national holiday and you have students leaving a school system and not knowing what the significance of the holiday is, to me, as an educator, that's inherently problematic.